What's up, all you action figure collectors out there? So now I am back here with another action figure review, and for today's review we're going to be taking a look at the DC Collectibles DC Essentials Cheetah figure. And here on the top you do get the name of the character, and you do on the bottom you get the DC Collectibles logo, and you do get some brownish gold highlights to match the colors of the figure. And here on the side you do get a picture of the character posing, and here in the back it shows us other figures in this wave, which I'm not sure if I would necessarily get. I might possibly end up getting the Cyborg Superman, but not sure about the Supergirl and Wonder Woman. And here you do get a brief bio, and if you want you can pause it and read it. Alright, and you do get more of that window box packaging on the side. Okay, so now let's get this figure open and take a look at what they're all about. Okay, so now here's a look at the figure outside of the package. Now I want to give note, but she doesn't come with any accessories, so I'm just going to give note that this was one of the most expensive and hardest figures for me to get a hold of. Like, yeah, it's because she is ultra rare, and yeah, it took me a long time for me to get a hold of it. And yeah, and I am glad I finally have her. Like, yeah, and for now I don't think that there's any more on eBay, but there's one still on Mercari. And yeah, and I've been wanting this figure for a while. And I do want to point out that the fact that she doesn't come with any accessories, it is kind of passable, but maybe it could have been nice if she at least came with some close-fisted hands. But Cheetah is not really known for having weapons. Okay, but let's now get into the figure itself. Okay, so now looking at this Cheetah figure, I want to say that I love this figure to death. Like, this is definitely gonna be one of my most favorite Legion of Doom figures that I have. You know, even though I'm still building it, but yeah, I love this figure to death. She's pretty much on par with being my favorite with the Black Manta figure I have, and I guess Deathstroke, but he is currently not in a good position right now. But we're not talking about that. But I first off want to say that I really love this face sculpt. This is it's a very gorgeous face sculpt. Also, because I do like how they painted on the brownish like lipstick. I also like how they painted on the eyes and like the facial expression she has. And also I really love how they painted the red. It's a very deep dark red. I'm thinking that's supposed to be the color of her lips, not her dark brown. But yeah, I love this figure to death. This might possibly be, I guess it makes sense why it's expensive. Maybe it's because of this figure used to be cheap, cost around $30, but maybe her popularity have boosted from Wonder Woman 84. Many people wanted to get this figure. But yeah, but I really love how they this necklace. This belt piece and this necklace are both separate pieces, so if you want, I mean, you could like remove the head and then take this off if you want, but I'm not sure about this one though. But yeah, I really do love how they painted on the spots, you know, the cheetah spots, and I really love how they painted on the skin tone. Like, yeah, like I really love how they painted the cheetah spots. Yeah, really love how they did the arms. I also love how they did her hands because I love how they done these claws. Yeah. Also, looking at the legs, more great details. And looking at the back of the figure, which she has even more cheetah spots, which I really love. And also I want to give note that the tail is articulated. Yeah, going all the way down to her feet. She unexpectedly has really small feet. But yeah, you can see that she has the claw toes. She has the claw toes. So yeah, which could make her really dangerous if she kicks, like as well as she scratches. But yeah, I love this figure to death. This might definitely be the most perfect cheetah figure out there, and we don't get a lot of cheetah figures. And yeah, and it's stated that the DC Essentials line are 7-inch line, but they only are a little bit taller than your average 6-inch scale figures. But I have seen reviews of this figures before, and she could scale in well with 6-inch scale figures. Oh, and I also forgot to point out the ears. I also love how they did the ears here, to make it look like she has cattish type ears. Alright, so now let's get into the articulation. Now for the articulation, I will say I really do like the articulation on this figure. Like, this could definitely be everything you should want in a cheetah figure, even though we don't get a lot. Okay, so she could look left and right. She could look down pretty good. But she could kind of look up because her hair is made out of some soft rubber material, but she could kind of look up. But maybe if you could find someone, she could look up more. But yeah, the arms could come out good. She can rotate, and she does have a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, so she could kind of bend the elbows, but it's really stiff. I don't want to force it and break it. Might throw some shock oil. She's got hinges on the hands, so good up and down movement with the hands, and a good upper torso, but no waist swivel. She can kick forward at the leg really good, but she can't really kick back. And once again, the tail is articulated. She can move here, and she can also move here at the tail. And she does have a thigh cut, so she could rotate at the thighs, and also double jointed knees. Mine is pretty stiff, but she could bend the knees farther, but I don't want to force it and break it due to how expensive and rare this figure is. She does have a boot cut, so she could rotate, and she's got hinges on her feet, so great up and down movement with the feet. And she does not have those bullshit ankles like many of the male figures in this line, even though I only own a few of them. But yeah, and she does have ankle pivot, and she has one peg hole on the bottom of her foot. Okay, so size comparison time. So here is her standing next, of course, since she's the arch nemesis of Wonder Woman. Here is her standing next to the DC Multiverse Mattel Wonder Woman and the Arkham Knight Catwoman from DC Collectibles. And you could see that she's kind of like a little bit shorter than Catwoman. I don't know, and she looks like she's a hair taller than Wonder Woman, but overall they look pretty close to the same height, even though I'm pretty sure that Cheetah is supposed to be a little bit shorter than Wonder Woman, but the scaling could still work. Like, I've seen many reviews that shown that these are are actually the same height. And like, yeah. Or sometimes maybe in some iterations she might be drawn to being the same height as Wonder Woman. I mean, plus she's usually not standing up straight most of the time anyway, because she's usually like, like crouched down. Like, you know, like, you know, um, something like this, because she's usually crouched down. But overall, I have no problem with the scaling. Now, here is her standing next to the world's finest, a BVS Mattel Superman and a DC Multiverse Mattel Justice League Batman with a custom cape. And also, here is her standing next to a DC Collectible Season 1 CW Flash and a DC Icons Hal Jordan Green Lantern figure. And also, here is her standing next to a DC Multiverse Mattel 2018 Aquaman movie figure and the CW Supergirl Martian Manhunter figure. And also, here is her standing next to the Season 2 DC Collectibles Arrow figure and a Canary figure. And also, if you wonder how she looks with your Marvel Legends, here is her standing next to the core 4 members of the Avengers. And also, just for fun, here is her standing next to a Marvel Legends Black Panther figure from the MCU. And also, here is her standing next to a DC Collectibles CW Vixen figure. And the reason why I'm scaling these two, if y'all guys played the Injustice game, y'all would know what's up. And speaking of which, I do plan on upgrading and swapping this out with, the DC Multiverse Mattel version from the comics. Now, last but not least, here is her standing next to the rest of my Legion of Doom collection so far. And so far, I like how it's coming. Like, yeah. Now, I don't have my Deathstroke up here because some assholes ruined them, and I don't care if that's unprofessional if I said that. But yeah, so far this is my Legion of Doom collection. And yeah, and now she is noticeably taller than this Lex Luthor, but obviously you can still have fun and manipulate the sizes. And once again, I'm about to upgrade this Joker soon, and it's going to be a custom. Now, so far, now who I am also looking to get is Captain Cold, and it's like as Captain Cold, Bizarro, and Solomon Grundy. Then I'm pretty sure then that will be all the members that I would be satisfied with calling them the Legion of Doom. The Legion of Doom. Once again, like, these two so far are like my favorite figures in my Legion of Doom roster. But yeah, that's how she looks with the rest of my Legion of Doom. Yeah, Solomon Grundy is going to be tricky to get, but I should have an easy time getting a hold of, Bizarro and Captain Cold. But yeah, and Solomon Grundy will be standing in the back with Grodd. And members like the Riddler, Giganta, and many others are very optional, but obviously if I get all the other members that I mentioned, I'm not going to stop there, because my Justice League is big, and so should is getting big, and so should my Legion of Doom. Okay, so now that will be my review. So my final thoughts on this figure is that I love this figure to death. She is definitely one of my favorite Legion of Doom members that I own so far. Like, at least the ones that I like near next to Black Manta, of course. And yeah, I definitely would recommend her, but but she's very rare and hard to find, and she will be majorly expensive. So I will say, if you really want to track and try to get a hold of this figure, I wish you the best of luck. And it took me a while to get a hold of her, like, I've paid an amount that I was not planning to pay. But yeah, I mean, there once was one where she was at a price that I would have had no problem paying, and I will show an image of it. But whenever I finally got all the money and where I felt comfortable to buy her, someone have already swooped in and got her. So I would definitely say whoever brought it, if you're watching this video, fuck you. Just kidding. But I hope you're also enjoying the figure. But yeah, even though I'm disappointed, but sometimes things don't always go the way you want. But yeah, but don't forget to like give this video a like, and also give your thoughts in the comments, and let me know if there's any improvements that I should start doing in my reviews. And yeah, even though I barely be posting content, but I will post when I post. And until next time, this is Super Kal-El signing off. Oh yeah, guys, and before I go, I forgot to mention that if you really want a Cheetah figure but don't want to pay that amount, then another one that I would suggest is to get the DCUC version, but she's like wearing some like black outfit. But yeah, but the variant is also really hard to find because you don't get a lot of Cheetah figures. But another thing that I also wanted to throw in is your best bet might also be to wait until, I guess, 2027, when Mattel fully takes over, and see if Mattel will announce a Cheetah figure that looks like this. That's what I also wanted to come back and tell you guys. That would also be our best bet, since Mattel has reclaimed the license, and we might possibly get another 6-inch scale Cheetah. Like, hopefully Mattel makes an alternative that looks like this one. The naked Cheetah. Hopefully Mattel can make an alternative, so y'all won't have no needs to stress over trying to get this one. But yeah, that's all I wanted to come back and say.